Hi guys, Nick from Frankly Organized and UpSourced, and I've been doing this video because a couple of people have asked me about emails and email templates, how to set them up, how to run them, different things about them. So I'm going to try to do this basic video for you and go through what we have. Now, this is the demo for Frankly Organized client that's behind me here. So you can actually see I'm inside of marketing, okay? And then if you go to emails and templates, that's where I am. It gives you two options, one here to create a template and another new option up here. As you get started, I really encourage you to start with a pre-existing template and modify it until you learn kind of what things do and how things go. It isn't exactly something that you're gonna grasp right off the bat, especially if this is something new for you. But I do want to give you some basic information because I do want to walk through that with you. I've had a couple of people ask, so let's click new here. It's actually gonna give you the option to use an email marketing templates. These are templates that we've already have set up inside of here. Click next again, and then you'll be able to select one of them, the templates that we have. And I'll just grab this one right here. It's a marketing campaign. It gives you some information about it. It's business, IT services, software. You could just pretty much change it to whatever you want. It's got a little bit of a different look and feel, some different parts to it, which is really good. Some moving GIFs, etc. I'm going to just use this one, so you'll click continue again. If you wanted to choose a different one, you could have X'd out of it. It would have brought you back and you would have had another choice. We're going to import it now into it. So importing into the templates that we have. And this is what it looks like. So when you first get it, this is what it looks like. Yep, everything's in Latin. It's a good rundown. It gives you some good information. It's got the footer at the bottom. So just some basic information. Let's go through now and kind of customize it, and I'll show you some of the layouts and some of the tools. Now, there's a couple of things. Now, first, this is the layout, okay? You'll see that these down here, when you see in the bottom left corner right over my shoulder here, these are the layouts. So when I say click on a layout, okay, this is what the full thing is looking at, and this is the background. So the first one is this layout here, this top one, and the color of it for the whole background is white. So say we change this, and let's change this white from white to, I don't know, this orange, burnt red color, okay? That is how you change the background for that image, for that layer. Say you want an image to be the background, which potentially you can. So here's this whole layer here. We're going to select a pattern, and that's what this picture is. Likely is the picture that's been inserted into this. I don't know. Let's replace it, though. And let's just see, hopefully I have some pictures in here. Let's see what we got. This nice guy mowing a lawn. We're going to replace that picture for the background. This is an image over top of it. And if we remove that, you'll see that it replaced the image. This whole section is an image. So this is an element on top of, you can see when it's clicked on, it's an element on top of the image. So if we were to go into that, and go to our media storage. Say we wanted to go to Pixabay and pull something in Pixabay. Let's say lawn. Let's just do what we can do with lawn. Okay, some ducks walking on the lawn. Great. It looks great. Let's import that into our media library. This is a stock image. So I'm showing you how to import a stock image as well. It's been successfully imported. Let's close that out. Okay, and we could go to add an image from our media storage. It's going to be sitting right here. If you wanted to drag it into a folder, you can create a folder. Let's make this stock images, okay? And we can drag this into the stock images folder. And then in here, let's import that image in. It now replaced this. So a white background where there's an image on top. This is the image that's replaced on top of it. If we were to remove it, it would have the image of the background that we had for the full layer, okay, which we replaced, remember, to being that image. If we wanted it to just be the picture over the image, it would look like that. Again, I'll show you what that white background, we could change it to the burnt orange or select a pattern and make the full image. Let's make it just like the other one, the guy mowing the lawn. It is that same background image. Or you can remove that image and it would go back to being the burnt orange again. Okay, so that's how those pictures go. If you needed to change a logo, for example, in this element, it is a logo. You can see the same as this image. You get the same image, the edit the image panel, okay? So you click on the element, okay, which is the image, and let's replace this image with an image from inside our, see if I can find a logo. No, you know what? I'm going to drop a Frankly Organized logo into here. So I'll show you how to do that and how to import all it. This whole section, this whole pile is just drag and drop. So I can show you that right here. Let's find our logo and I'll grab a Frankly Organized logo. I'll just drag this one in here. So it's going to import this PNG of our logo and I'm going to double click it. It will then replace that with our logo and then date here. It's a text file. You can see when you click on the element, when you click on the element, you get the element editor. So it's editor text. Text editors are across the top. Now I want to show you and go through some of the elements inside the text editor now. So I'm going to use this box right here because there's a lot more going on in these two boxes and it's a lot bigger than that one. So this box, if I was to click on this text inside the element, you get the element editor, okay? And the padding around the outside of it. So there's going to be a padding or margin around the top is at 10. There's a 0, 1 at the bottom. So you can see when you're looking at the box here, that's the 10 and the 0 is the lines right at the bottom. Now, if we were to add 10 at the bottom, okay, it's going to add that space in that we had on the second side. So it's additional space onto it. If we were to 0 that out again, it's the same thing. Say you wanted a huge space here. You can change that to 100 and it's going to give you a lot of space between items, okay? That's how you change and edit space, okay? Let's edit the text inside here now. You'll see that this is a heading. So it's heading 1. The font is the system default font for this client inside of the branding. The branding, a branding template that's been set up, which is a completely different video. If you have questions on that, we can go over that as well. But you could change your font that you have here, the size of the font, obviously, color. Let's say we're going to make that the burnt orange, so you can just change the font. Let's have it selected. So you select the full font that you want changed to that color. Actually, let's just have dedicated. Go to the burnt orange. Great. And then we're going to have clients as burnt orange. You could select all or some. Oh, I missed that. You could have all or some of the words changed. It's totally up to you in the font. That's the line font around the outside, the color of the line around the outside of the wording. Now let's say we want this one to be, let's make this burnt orange. Okay, it's gonna be really hard to see in this font, but the highlight over top of it is that burnt orange, or you can just remove that. Let's go back to clear. There it is. So that's putting a highlighter over top of the color. You have bold, bold, italics, underline, or strike through. So let's say we are not dedicated to the success of our clients. I don't know. We want to be dedicated to the success of our clients. But let's do a strike through as an example. Say you wanted dedicated to be a link. You can add the link in here. This is what the URL will be. Meaning, let's say it's going to be up the Frankly Organized website. I will try to pull one up for us here. Let's see. This is our social media page. Let's put that in here. So when someone clicks on dedicated, okay, you can see as it's the URL here. We could even remove that section of the URL if you wanted to. But see, dedicated now has a URL. And then, so the link, it's centered. So you can see here, the text is centered. You could change that between left adjusted, right adjusted, or justified. Okay, this is the height space. That's the space between the top and the bottom, the height. Making a bullet, clear all the formatting. So say I got tired of this, I really didn't want to do it. Instead of changing individually, you could just clear all the formatting and it's going to set it back to paragraph. And then if you wanted to go back to H1, and then we had it at size 20 font, okay, and it was centered. That's literally sending it back to the beginning again. If you have a custom value, so I don't think we have any in this in Frankly Organized, but if you had a custom value or you wanted to add to our clients, such as, and you add such as the client's name, you could use the full name or the first name, their email address. Let's just go with their full name, such as you. So now it'll read, and this will fill in the contact's name now. So it says, we're dedicated to the success of our clients, such as you, the person's name. Okay. This is a trigger link. Trigger links are something, a completely different scenario. That can be set up inside of the marketing and communications part of of UpSourced. If you are on an AI package as well, the AI can help you out with not only the building of these, okay, but also the content that's inside of it. That's image creation, word creation, etc., etc. If you have paragraphs that you want to write in, okay. Some other things, let's see. So this is to go through this layout. I want to go through out adding and changing layouts. So this whole layout right here, say we wanted to create something similar to this. This is a two, so you can see there's one side of it here, which you have an image on one side and then text and then a button below it. Say we're going to create that. It's a 2-section layer. We're going to drop that in, okay? Then let's drop in an image, okay, which is going to go here. And then on the right side, so this is a text box. We'll add the text box. And then we go back again, and we're going to add the button, okay? So now we've added all of our elements just as this. Now let's go through and make this layer look like this layer now. So let's add an image, okay? So you click on the element, click on Add Image. We're going to pull it from our library. We'll use stock images again since we're getting some mileage out of these ducks. Now, this duck, you can see, isn't married to the same side. So let's drop this to 0. It's going to punch it all the way to the side. And then on this, the padding, now to take this image and push it all the way to the side like this one is, that's where this padding is. And we're going to drop that to 0. Now, that padding for both the element and the layer are 0, putting the image all the way on the right side. Now let's have a 0 barrier on this side. So as this image, it's all the way to the right. So I'm going to click on that element, drop this from 20 to 0. Now it is the same width as that, the element that's there as well. Okay, and now we're going to change this text and heading. This can be anything you want. I'm just going to use the same exact one because it's in there. Okay. You could create this, however, if you have the AI through UpSourced, it can actually generate this for you, so you'll have no problem going through that. All right. And then using the editor to edit the words and the text right up top as we did before. Okay, let's look at the editor for the button again. I'll go over this panel that you see here in a little while, but this is the editor. So if you click on it, you want to go to the editor, that's what this is here. So let's click what the button's going to say, add button link here. Let's say it's going to say email me, okay? And then you set up what it is. It's a URL. If it's mail, who's it's going to go to, you add your email in here. If you want it to be phone, you just add your phone number in here. If it's going to be SMS, you add the SMS phone number you'd like them to send, etc. Say you wanted it to be a URL, and we're going to use that same URL that we had for Frankly Organized before in our marketing. Let's add that URL in here, okay? And the text, this is text alignment of the word. So let's say we left adjust it inside of the box. So we're going to move it left. We're going to change the color to the burnt orange. Again, all of these images we're setting up inside of branding. If you would like to do that, that's this. You could click there. It'll actually open into a new area of UpSourced. Again, I don't want to get into branding right now, the branding package, because that's a totally different video, and I can do that with you guys if you wish at another time. If you want a border on it, so the border radius is the curves around the outside edge, okay? What's the width of it? Right now it's just this small. It's going to be the width of the wording, but if you wanted to go to full width so it looks like that, you could. So you'd like a border around it. Let's make this, we'll use this teal border, fine. And the larger you make that border, the thicker it's going to be. Okay? And that's totally up to you. Again, you have the additional padding around the outside, or you could remove all padding if you want, and just it fills the whole. It'll fill the whole image. It's totally up to, or fill the whole box. It's totally up to you. Okay. Now I wanted to show you this editing tool and what things go to. So this is a copy. So say you wanted to use this element again, you could click copy, it'll do it, and then you can drag it to where you'd like it to go. So say we wanted it here, or we're going to drag this element and we don't want it on this space here. Let's drag it down below or over here, wherever. That's how you can move elements between. And you can do that similarly with layers. You can move the layers where you want and drag them up and down as well. So we drag this down here. Let's drag it back up. So it's above here. Let's put it, actually, we could put it above this one that we've created. That's how you drag layers, but you can duplicate them and then saving layers or saving elements so you could use them in other templates. You can actually make them global. So say you like the way that this layer or this button is, you can save that particular item to being a global element, okay? If you have questions on that, saving global elements is a little bit of a more advanced scenario, and I could talk to you guys separately about that, or I could do a video if you wish. Obviously, throwing it away. This is another advanced thing. It's if this happens, then that happens. Let's not get into that today. But this will show if the element is shown on mobile or the PC, or both. So if it's illuminated, it's going to show up on both. If it's not, say this whole element here, these ducks, you did not want these ducks viewable on mobile, all you do is click it and it gray it out. So when you actually preview, and I'll show you how to preview it now, preview the template, notice how the ducks, where the ducks are here. Let's preview it. The ducks on a desktop are here. Okay, but they won't show up on a mobile. Okay, and that's how you save your reactiveness to being, whether it's going to be reactive for desktop or it's going to be reactive for mobile. So you can go back down. So again, we had Ashley Hamilton just be a demo person that came in. Remember, we had that field as that person that would replace that filling there. Okay, and you could preview with the contact information. So if you wanted a different person and you had like email, phone number, address, all that specific type, and you were to click preview contact, it'll actually show you all the contact information for that. Okay, I'll go over quickly some of these other elements and what they are up here. So you have obviously a text box, image, and button, which we already did. Your logo, which is very specific and different than an image, because it's pulling from your logo. And if you have your logo and branding, it's going to make it, the branding box, it will make it easier. A divider. Now, there's a difference. I've been asked a couple of times, what's the difference between a divider and adding space into an item? A divider may be in the same box, okay, but it's going to actually physically put a line there, okay? It's like a line spacer. For example, it will sit here. But say we wanted now to have more space between these items. Say I wanted to have this space here, but then in this element, I wanted it to have a huge gap below it. You just add padding to it. So you could add 140 padding so it still looks like that. It's not going to fill in this space. You can't put an item in this space. So if you click on something and it looks way bigger, it's likely a padding scenario, okay? Or if you wanted, same thing, if you wanted to have this have space below it, a lot of space below it, you could either do it with the padding of the inside the layer, or as inside the element, okay? So in this element, we're going to have more padding, and let's just put, the 100 on that, and that'll just give that gap below it, okay? Let's go back to the elements again. You have social media, and this is a nice divider that comes in, gives you all your options, and you can edit, copy them if you want, 2 of them, delete it. You can add a whole list of different ones that are in here that we have, YouTube, Yelp, all these different, you can have a custom one that you want, whatever. Okay, and it shows visibility again where you want this. Do you want it to show up on mobile or desktop? That's going to be on all elements. Okay, we'll go back again. Some of the other elements that are there. The footer, which is example of, looks down here at the bottom. It's good to have this on all of your emails. It goes with compliance. I really suggest that you do have this here. But it also have the copyright information, how do people to get a hold of you, and then unsubscribe. You really do need to have that, especially for compliance. Code is a little bit complex. If you have some questions about that, I'd like you to just ask before you probably use one of this if it's your first time or you're kind of new to something like this. Video is cool, which is this one right here. Videos can be added in. If you want to add it as a thumbnail, you could have a thumbnail for it. And if you actually have the video dumped into your media storage, it can be there. Or you can use it off of YouTube or Venmo. So you could actually have the location of the image exactly as well. So it doesn't have to be in here. You could pull it off of YouTube as well. So that's the video. Let's go back again. You have your shopping cart. If you have your products inside of UpSourced, they're inside of UpSourced is the shopping cart. If you're using Shopify, it's a completely different scenario. They're not going to pull from inside of UpSourced. It won't pull. This one is only for products that are inside of UpSourced. RSS is a completely different scenario. Something you ask is FAQ is a cool thing to play with if you have different things that you may want to drop down and talk about. So, for example, does your client, do you do lawn mowing services on the weekend? Yes, by appointment only. Or do you offer, I don't know, senior discounts? Yes, we own discounts for pensioners. Depending on what it is you could have inside of your inside of the FAQ here. An image slider, which is really cool. This will actually have all your images down here. You plug all your images into the system up here. Add as many as you want on the left here, and then it will just kind of slide through those images, which is really cool for you. Let's go back here. Preview of a URL. These two are brand new. The preview of the URL is cool. You could actually have a preview of what that section of the browser will look like inside of your website page. Just kind of a cool thing and show you. It's same thing up here. You just kind of click it and it'll bring you to it. Let's go back. There's still some things on that are being worked out. The countdown timer is really cool. You need to actually set this up in the countdown timers and marketing first. So you'll set up what it is. So say you want to set up a countdown for Christmas, for example. You could set up that the availability of that, and you set the date up inside of the inside of marketing and countdowns. You set up the counter, and then when you'll get the ability, once you've created it in here, to pick which countdown timer you want. Okay, so you'll create that first in the countdown timers and marketing, and then you'll choose which one you want up here above. Okay. That's some pretty good layout of what's going on and a rundown of how to use some of the tools and items in here, guys. I can't go really through everything in this video. It's been a pretty long video anyways, but I wanted to get you guys into it and actually seeing what it looks like. If you have any more questions, feel free to reach out. But I hope this answers a bunch of questions for you guys. All right. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Talk soon.